Hey friends, happy Tuesday. It's Bill. We are in the middle of a series of vision meetings, and if you haven't had a chance to attend one, I wanted to bring you up to speed on the conversation. Last spring, we began searching for 3 part-time staff: a community partnerships director, a director of whole life discipleship and community formation to help us fulfill Jesus' command to make disciples, and to help us to create and strengthen really beautiful, life-giving expressions of Christian community. And then thirdly, a children's ministry director to replace Dina Willems, who stepped down in September. Finding staff, especially part-time staff, is really, really hard, especially in a place like Western Mass, where Christians make up a small percentage of the population and there are no Christian colleges or seminaries nearby. It's a lot like trying to find a unicorn. Well, praise God, we found Naomi and hired her to be our part-time community partnerships director, and she's doing an amazing job. Our first unicorn. 1 down, 2 to go. Well, this past November, someone reached out to me who was interested in both of our remaining staff positions, and we began exploring together what that might look like. Over the past several months, we've really gotten to know this candidate well. Over several interviews that have involved a number of our leaders and stakeholders in these ministries. And I and others are convinced that this person would be an amazing gift to our church. They would come with relevant experience, with gifts and abilities that complement ours, along with really a growing love and affection for College Church. So, another unicorn. We are thrilled that we have found this person, and we would love to bring this person on staff. Not to do the work for us, but to equip and catalyze us to engage in fruitful ministry. So that's the good news. The bad news is that at our current level of financial support, we could not sustain this additional staff person over time. We have a budget, and as excited as we are to take this next step forward in our vision, we have a responsibility to be wise stewards of our limited resources. Through March 31st, our actual giving has been running about $40,000 behind our budget. Fortunately, because we're not fully staffed right now, our actual giving is running behind about $19,000 behind our actual expenses. So, what would it look like for us to bring this person on staff? Well, to bridge the current budget gap, to fully fund this staff position, and to account for inflation, we need to add about $75,000 in new giving over the next year. We think that's a realistic number, and we think that that's what it will take. Now, that might sound like a really big number to you, but if you break it down, it ends up being about $8 per member per week, or $34 per member per month. That would close the gap. That would fully fund this position, and it would enable us to take this next big step forward in our vision. So we're trying to assess right now if that's possible, and that's where you come in. There are 3 more vision meetings left this Wednesday, this Thursday, and Sunday the 30th after church. In the video description right below here, you'll find a link to the locations and times of the remaining vision meetings. We would love to see you there. You'll also find a link to a vision report that goes into a lot more detail about our vision and the staffing positions and how they all fit together. And then there's a link to a digital pledge card. Right now, the leadership is trying to assess whether or not it is wise to pull the trigger and offer a job to this candidate. The pledge card will help to give us a sense of how much new giving we can expect over the next year. So the purpose of the pledge card is to assess new giving, not what you already give to College Church, but new or additional giving. So here's the call to action, friends. If you call College Church your spiritual home, but you're not yet giving to College Church, we want to invite you to start giving. If College Church is the primary way in which you see the gospel being lived out and going forth, it only makes sense that you would want to support that work financially as you're able. If you already give, but you give maybe sporadically, we want to invite you to give regularly, to create a habit of giving. That might be every week, every other week, every month. You can do that through our Sunday morning offering or through our online giving that allows you to set up an ongoing recurring contribution. There's a link to our online giving platform right below this video. Maybe you give, but you wait till the end of the week or the end of the month or the end of the year to see what you have left. If that's the case, we invite you to make a plan to give to God first. Meaning, when you make your budget, you put God right at the top and you decide in advance through prayer how much to give to charity and ministry. You give to God first, and then you trust God to supply all of your needs with what's left. Now, if you already give regularly and sacrificially to College Church, thank you. Thank you so much. We invite you to consider whether you can increase your giving. Is there margin in your budget to give more? Is there a sacrifice that you could make so that the gospel could make a greater impact in our community? If you're giving already all that you can, and some of you are, then we just invite you to simply pray for God to use others to help close the gap and to fund the vision. We are praying. Please pray with us. Pray for wisdom. Pray for this candidate who's waiting for our response, and pray that God will supply all that we need through his people. We really hope that we can bring this person on staff in the coming months. So check out the links below. Fill out the digital pledge card before the end of the month. Come to an upcoming vision meeting where you can ask questions and offer your input. The conversations have been really great so far, and we'd love to have you at the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.